me. Okay, so, all right, if it'll load. Okay. So welcome back, guys. Just a few announcements before we start today. I got some resources from Dr. Dave that everyone over the age of 16 is now eligible to get their COVID-19 vaccines. There's a couple places in Philadelphia that they're completely free of charge. You don't pay for them. And if you are under 18, it's complete. You don't need a parent or anything like that. You can just get them done. So I'll send over the PDF that I received through email to everybody in the class, just in case anybody is interested in that. And also about our lab. Hi, Amira, how are you? You guys are hearing that noise outside. I live like right across the street from a train and it's running right now, so that's what that is. But our lab for this class is officially happening on Monday and Thursday after class from 1 to 2. So since today is our first lab period, I think I'm going to do 1 to 1:30 for Spanish 1 and 1:30 to 2 for Spanish 2. And then next week, I'll do Spanish 1's lab on Monday, 1 to 2, and Spanish 2's lab on Thursdays. So, but I mean, if you have any dire questions or anything like that, feel free to, come in and we'll go over it. I'll let you guys know how that's like my theory right now, but things might be a little bit different. Okay. So there's that. Okay, so on to our agenda for today. Like we've been doing, we're going to go over the numbers 70 through 80, like we've been doing 10 every day. We're going to go over telling time again. We're going to review the weather vocabulary that we went over on Monday. I have some new seasons and months vocabulary. And we're going to review the homework that was assigned for today, the answers, things like that. And I have the instructions for Monday's homework, and that's it. Okay. So coming right in here, going over the numbers 70 through 80. These ones are just pretty much like the numbers that we have been going over. It's just the number 70 is 70, and 1 and 2 and 3. So 71 is 71. 72 is 72. 73 is 73. 74 is 74. 75 is 75. 76 is 76. 77 is 77. 78 is 78. 79 is 79. And 80 is 80. Does anybody have any questions or anything on that? Any questions on the numbers? Are we okay with that? Okay. So moving on to our telling time review. I know that some people are still having some issues with it. So we'll just go over this quickly. Just writing down, there's a couple more people that came in. Hi, Isaiah, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Good morning. Okay. So just a little bit going over this. I know, like I said, some people are still struggling a little bit with this, so we'll go over it quickly. So let's remember our formula for telling time, which is es or son, which means it is, plus la or las, and plus the number. So an example of that is es la una, which means it's 1 o'clock. And an example, another one is son las tres, which means it's 3 o'clock. And remember, we only use es and la when we're saying it's one something. All other numbers we use son and las for. So when we want to add minutes, we just add them to the end of the formula. So it's the same thing. We have es or son plus la or las plus the number plus e, which means and the number of minutes. So an example of that is son las 4:05. It's 4 o'clock and 5 minutes. So it's 4:05. Does that make sense to everybody? Or do we need a little bit more help with that? Okay. So just a little bit more about our review is, like I said, we know most of what we need to know, but there are a couple little tricks that we can use. Another formula that we can use is the es or son plus the la or the las plus the number from 1 to 12 plus menos, which means minus, plus the number of minutes. So as I have here, this basically translates to it's blank o'clock minus a certain number of minutes. So some examples here is son las 2:05, and that means it's 2 o'clock minus 5 minutes. So it's 1:55. Another example is es la 1:03, which means it's 1 o'clock minus 3 minutes. So it's 12:57. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. So our last slide for our review is to say that it's exactly half past the hour, such as 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, all that fun stuff. We say the number and plus e media. So that's like the number and a half an hour. So an example of that would be son las 4:30. It's 4 o'clock and a half an hour. So it's 4:30. Another example is es la 1:30, which means it's 1 o'clock and a half an hour. So it's 1:30. To say that it's a quarter into the hour, such as 1:15, 2:15, so that fun stuff, we say the number plus y cuarto. So an example of that would be son las 5:15. So it's 5 o'clock and a quarter hour. So it's 5:15. Another example is son las 7:15. So it's 7 o'clock and a quarter hour. So it's 7:15. To say it's a quarter until the hour, such as 1:45, 2:45, things like that, we say the number menos cuarto. Now remember, we said that menos means minus. So some examples of that are son las 7:45. So it's 7 o'clock minus 15 minutes. So it's 6:45. Another example is son las 10:45. So it's 10 o'clock minus 15 minutes. It's 9:45. Does that make sense to everybody? Or do we need a little bit more help with that? Everybody's okay? Okay. So just a review of our weather vocabulary before we go into going over the homework. Let's just go over these. I don't know why this like numbering is off like this. I tried to fix it last night and it just like wasn't working. So just bear with me. So we have el clima is the weather. Hace frío is cold. Hace ventoso, it's windy. Está nublado, it's cloudy. Está soleado, it's sunny. Está parcialmente soleado, which means it's partly cloudy, partly sunny, either way you want to say it. Hace calor or está caliente, it's hot. I've heard people say both of them, so either one of them are acceptable. La sequía is the drought or when it's very dry. El terremoto is the earthquake. El trueno is the thunder. El tornado is the tornado. La inundación is the flood. La erupción volcánica is the volcanic eruption. La nieve is the snow. La lluvia is the rain. And el arco iris is the rainbow. So does anybody have any questions about the weather vocabulary? Everybody's okay? Okay, I'm just gonna exit out of this so we can go over the homework that was assigned for today. Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, so for this homework for today, you had to write the name of the weather represented by the pictures. So this is our word bank right here. And these are all words that we went over in the vocabulary list. So pretty much you just had to write in like in these boxes, which is the right one. So for this first one here, which one are we gonna pick from our word bank? That looks like there's clouds and not too much sun. So what are we gonna pick? Anybody want to take a guess? Nobody? Okay. So let me just bring this up here. Let's go back to our list here. Let's go back to, so we're thinking about clouds. So here's our list. So let's look for clouds on here. It's nublado, right? Oh. Oh, okay. So for this one, we're gonna put in nublado. And then this next one, there's a big sun. Does anybody want to tell me what they put in for that one? No? Well, let's go back to our list here and find the sun. So right here, we have soleado. So let's see, make sure that's in our word bank. Yep, right here. So the second one is going to be soleado. So for the third one here, we have a mix of clouds and sun. So I would say that it's partly cloudy, partly sunny. So what did you guys put for this one? Does anybody want to take a guess or tell me what they put? Let's go back to our list here. And remember right here we have está parcialmente soleado. So, and that is in our word bank, parcialmente soleado, right there. So that would be for number 3. For number 4, we have what looks like storms, some thunder and lightning. And I see that the word bank here doesn't have the word for lightning, but it does have the word for thunder. So let's go back to our vocab list and find thunder right here, el trueno. So that is going to be the correct answer for the 4th one. It's going to be truenos. For number 5, the last one in the first row, it's a cloud and it looks like there's some leaves blowing around. So I would say that it's going to be windy. So which one of these words means windy? Anybody want to guess? Okay, so let's go back to our word bank. Well, this is kind of a word bank, but a vocabulary list. We have right here, number 3, hace ventoso. So, and yep, we have ventoso in our word bank. So we're going to pick ventoso for that one. For the first one on the second row, it looks like we have a rainbow. So let's go back to our word bank and find out which one that is. Right here, number 8, el arco iris. And they spell it a little bit differently than I would, but that's okay. It means the same thing. So, and that is in our word bank. So that's going to be arco iris is going to be the answer for that one. For For the second one here, in the second row, we have like what looks to be rain and just not very nice. So let's see here. Oh, okay, I see what it did here. So it's raining. So let's go back to our list here. And we have all of these. And remember, la lluvia means the rain. So I think that there's supposed to be a comma here. So lluvia and lluvioso means rainy. So you would put that one for that one. For the third one in the second row, we have a big snowflake. Does anybody want to take a guess what the correct one for that one is? Let's go back to our list here. And remember, let's look for snow in here. So we have la nieve is the snow. So is that one of our words up here? Yes, it is. It's right here. So nieve is going to be our answer for that one. For the fourth one in the second row, we have, it looks like it's really hot out. So let's look in our word bank. Okay. And let's go to our vocab list and try and find something that means it's hot. So number 7 in the first list has hace calor or está caliente. So let's try and find that in our word bank. Right here, caliente. So that's what you're going to put for the fourth one in the second row. For the last one in the second row, it's the opposite. It looks like it's really cold. So let's look in our word bank for a word that means cold. Does anybody want to take a shot at that one? No. Well, let's go back over here. And right here, hace frío means cold. So for this one, we're going to put, let's look. Oh, first one in our word bank, it's frío. Okay. Let me move this. Okay. So for our last row here, the first one in the third row, we have what looks to be a volcano erupting. So let's go back to our vocabulary here. And number 5 in the second row is la erupción volcánica, which, I mean, you could tell just by looking at it what it is. So that is like a volcano erupting. Let's see if that's in our word bank. Yep, erupción volcánica. There it is. So that's your answer for that one. For the second one in the third row, it looks like a house covered with water. So that one would be a flood, right? That's what I would say. So let's go back to our list here. And let's look for flood. There it is. Number 4 in the second row is la inundación, which means flood. Let's make sure that's in our vocab list. Yep, right here, inundación. So that's what you would put for this one. For the third one in the third row, we have the volcano. Wow, not a volcano, a tornado. So that one's pretty easy to remember. Remember, tornado is the same in Spanish and in English. So let's look up here. Yep, right here we have the word tornado. So you would just put that for the third one. For the fourth one in the third row, we have what looks to be, it's kind of hard to, if you didn't get this one, I understand, but it would be an earthquake. So let's go up here to our vocab list. And number 1 in the second row is el terremoto, which means the earthquake. Let's make sure that's in here. Yep, right here, terremoto. So that would be this one right here. And for the last one in this exercise, it looks very dry. The ground is cracked and all that other stuff. So that's our last one. So let's go over here and look for something that means like very dry or no rain. So that would be number 8 on the first row, which is la sequía, which means the drought or when it's very dry. So let's see if that one's up here. Yep, right here. So the last one for this exercise would be sequía. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or anything on the homework that was due for today? Everybody's okay with that? Okay. Okay. Let me that. Oop. Okay. So back to our PowerPoint. So now that we're good on the weather vocabulary, we'll move on. So I just included some more base. Oh, hold on, I have a message here. Okay. So some new seasons vocabulary. So this is just some basic things that I think are pretty important to learn. So our first one is just the word for season, which is la estación. So our 4 seasons here are el invierno is the winter, la primavera is the spring, el verano is the summer, and el otoño is the fall or the autumn. Does that make sense to everybody? Everybody's okay with that? Okay. So some new months vocabulary, just some months of the year. So our first one is el mes, means the, oh gosh, it does not mean the moth, it means the month. Okay. Enero is January. Febrero is February. Marzo is March. Abril is April. I put those backwards. Gosh, it was so late when I did this last night. So Mayo. Mayo means May. Junio means June. Julio means August. Agosto is July. Julio means July. Agosto means August. Septiembre means September. Octubre is October. Noviembre is November, and Diciembre is December. Does anybody have any questions on the months vocabulary? Or are we okay with that? Okay, good. So I'm going to go over the homework that is due on, I'm going to go over the homework that is due for Thursday. Hi, Tyseem, how are you?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Applying for jobs.
Yeah, I understand that. So let's go to, okay, so this is the assignment for that's assigned for Monday. So I took this out of a textbook that I have. So this just says the 4 seasons and the months of the year. And then it has the translation here. So this one's actually pretty simple. So it says El Invierno here, and here's the picture. It's winter. So you're just going to write winter. And then for these ones, we have the months here, and you're just going to write which month it is. So these are months of winter, these are months of spring, these are months of summer, and these are months of fall. So you're just going to translate what it means. So for December, you just write December. So this is just kind of to get you a little bit more familiar.
Class you sent us?
What was that? I'm sorry.
That's a new classwork.
Yeah, this is, I have this due for Thursday, but I just went over, I don't know if you were here, but I just went over like the months and the seasons. So that it's right here in the PowerPoint for today. We have the right here, the months, and then the seasons are right here. So yeah, so pretty much for the homework, all you're gonna do is like when it says El Invierno, you're just gonna write winter. For December, you're gonna write December. It's just to get you like familiar with the months and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty simple. I think that this is a PDF, so you might have to make like a Word document or just email me your answers or anything like that. That's fine. So there's that. And there is one other thing I wanted to go over. Let me see. Okay. So also so I've been grading homework based on like completion and just like if you do it. So I made up this a telling time quiz. So, and I said here, feel free to use any notes that you took, the PowerPoints, and any other resources on Google Classroom. So there's just a couple questions here. Part A is just like, how do you say what time is it? Is it son las or es las 12? It's things that we all went over before. And then, so for the second part, you're gonna write the times in English or like in like the format like I have here, like 8:30 or 7:30 or whatever. So I have an example here. So for the example, it's son las 8:30. So you're just gonna write like 8:30. Does that make sense? And I have 10 of those. And then for the third part, you're just going to write out the time in Spanish. So an example would be I give you 9:35, and the answer would be son las 9:35. And like I said, any format is correct. If you want to use media, cuarto, menos cuarto, it doesn't really matter. As there are multiple ways of telling the time, so as long as you get one of them, you're good. You don't have to name them all or anything. So I have 10 of those as well. And this one I'm actually gonna grade like on correctness because it's like a quiz. Um, just so we can get like some test grades in. And just and I do have this one due for next Thursday. So you have like a week to do this. You don't have to get this done by Monday. So feel free to familiarize yourselves with this and all that other stuff. So does anybody have any questions on the homework for Monday or the little quiz that we have here? Like I said, feel free to use any of the resources or anything that you have to do this because I know it's online and that's just how it works. So is everybody okay with this? Yeah, and if you have any questions along the way when you're doing it, feel free to send me an email or, talk about it in class or anything like that. So if we're good with that, okay, so back to our PowerPoint. So that is actually all that I had for today. So just some plans for the next class. We're going to do the numbers 80 through 90. We're going to review the homework that is assigned for Monday, what I just went over. We're going to review the weather, the seasons, and the months, the vocabulary. We're going to briefly go over like how to say dates, like, oh, like it's May 6th, 2021. We'll go over all that. And we're going to start prepositions and how to say like where things are located. This can be a little bit difficult, but it's okay because we're going to spend some time on it. Okay, so and also for the people that just came in, if you're struggling with anything or would like some extra help, I am having a lab today from 1 to 2. I was gonna do 1 to 1:30 for Spanish 1 and 1:30 to 2 for Spanish 2, just because it's our first day. But if you show up whenever, that's okay. Because I don't know how many people I'm gonna have from each class come in. But starting next week, our lab periods are gonna be Monday and Thursday from 1 to 2. I'm gonna try and do Monday for Spanish 1 and Thursday for Spanish 2, but if you need help like on a Thursday, feel free to stop in. So so is that okay with everybody? Is anybody thinking about coming to the lab today, just so I know? Okay, I'm gonna stop my share here. And I'll just stop recording here.